I kind of just want to highlight how silly this is at this point, because it is kind of crazy, but yeah. We'll explain after this how this works and why it's so strong. This is without using the legendary rings as well. This is just all normal gear. And no boons as well, just fly through the rooms. There's mainly on-kill effects which are really, really strong on this, but even for the boss, it should do very good damage. With a full focus bar, that is. Should do very good damage, and without boons. Okay, so let's talk through this then, because it is stupidly strong. And I would say there's one reason for it. Usually with a lot of the builds I say, oh, the main reason, oh, this is the reason this is really strong, right? There's so many things going on here that make this work so well. And I'm not running any legendary rings. And from the gameplay there, you just saw I didn't use any boons, any echoes from the Crucible, and I still like destroyed the Echo Knight. So it's crazy. I've had instances, I might put a clip in where I one hit a plagued boss, and it doesn't spawn the second phase because it just deletes the first phase instantly. It's bonkers. But let's start with the weapon though, because this is really key. Now there's two stats here which are really, really important. The movement speed is a nice little quality of life thing, right? But I get 96% extra damage after a kill. So that's why I can run around the rooms and just literally constantly keep spamming. Because it lets me obviously get that extra damage boost. And every time I get a kill, doing double damage, so I'm just one-hitting everything. Now, when I'm running around and I'm doing these attacks, so I'm going to this guy, I'm going to this guy, I'm going to this guy doing the same thing, what's happening is I'm getting 24 focus back on kill. But I'm actually getting 48 back because the gem doubles it, right? So everything here is doubled because I'm on low life. So first thing, you have to be low life, then you'll double all these stats. So I'm basically getting 100% extra damage, I'm getting 48 focus on fatality. But that's not all. Because with this helmet here, 30% cost reduced after a rune attack. So after that first kill, or even just using a rune in general, I could just use the flamethrower. I could just use the flamethrower on this to activate it. Not that I need to do that, because the first hit kills anyway, but I could just go like this, hit an enemy, and then the next fire blast will cost 20. So it costs me 20 to use my fire blast from the ground, but yet I'm getting 48 focus back. So I'm actually getting double the focus back every single time I get a kill or get a kill on an enemy. So with this damage boost, with the focus back, and with the focus cost reduced so much, because this is 60% reduced, this is. I'm just generating focus, I'm always max focus, like, I never have focus issues. And my damage is crazy, that's why I run into the boss there, because I've got that 20 seconds to get to the boss after that last kill. So I run straight to the boss and start hitting the Echo Knight to get the max damage out of that, right? But even in the second phase, I still do crazy damage without these buffs, so without these bonuses. So the second phase dies super quick, but that's how that all goes together. You need that focus cost on kill, focus cost reduced, and when you start getting double damage, everything gets one shot. So you spend one focus ability to get more focus back every time. The flamethrower turns to 10. So this actually says 25, it'll turn to like 10 cost per tick, which is crazy. And it also gets all the bonuses here, so the flamethrower is super strong as well, very fun. But those are the main things for the damage side of it, right? You know, you've got those three things going together there, so outside of that, got some barrier going on again. So barrier on food consumption, got really lucky here and got two rolls on the barrier. So 36% here, and then when you basically double it, I get 72% barrier, which I should have right now, which is my health. So yeah, about 70% of my health is barrier. As soon as I just have an apple, straight up got 72%. When I dodge, I also get about 70% as well, because it's the same number here pretty much. So I can have about 140% barrier, which is, what, we're looking at about 500 health. 500 of my health is barrier. So I've got 150 health, 500 barrier, 650 health, plenty of health there to take on bosses, right? But those are the main three things you need. Damage on fatality, focus on fatality, and focus cost reduced. Get those three as high as possible. Get Fire Blast, because Fire Blast is way too cheap. It costs 50 base. It should cost 100, I think. It does more damage than most of the 100 cost runes. It's super quick. There's no negatives. It's possibly the best rune in the game. Fire Blast. It's crazy good. If there's elemental equivalents of different elemental types, I don't think there is. There might be a plagued version of this. But if it does similar damage, that needs nerfing as well. But I think that obviously this is not the way that the game's intended to be played, right? But it's super fun. So I've enjoyed making it, enjoyed playing it. But let's face it, hopefully this doesn't make it into the full game, right? Because yeah, this is mages do have some crazy damage and crazy utility. But I'll finish off the rest of the gear. So you want crit chance, obviously. Now with this build, I have 100% crit chance as well. So every hit is guaranteed to crit. Now it's only good if you have good crit damage, right? But I've got 50% base here because I've got Keen on the facet on the left, which gives me an extra 10%. Staffs come with base 40, so I've already got 50% crit chance here on this item. So you can see that here, 50%. Then I've got it here as well, so this doubles. So this item alone has 78% crit chance. If I don't get any crit chance anywhere else, I've already got 78% crit chance. But then I also got it here. So I've actually got 102% because it's 24. So 78 plus 24 is 102. So I'm guaranteed to crit every time. So what does that mean? Well, it means I can put crit damage everywhere else because staffs have low base crit damage. They have 25% bonus on your original damage, so quite low. But I get 24 here, so that's basically 50% crit damage here, basically 50% here, and 40%. So 140% bonus crit damage off my gear. So the total is 265% crit damage, which is guaranteed. I will never miss that. And then I'm getting it doubled, so that's like 500 and something, you know. That's why it's getting to bonkers numbers. So it all adds up really, all meshes together and makes it broken together. With the other stats, you can kind of do what you need to do. I mean, a bit of armor penetration is good. You do want some armor penetration because it works on everything. Every type of enemy, every type of element. It's very good to get some, so I've got about 60% here, which is very good against tanky enemies. Crit damage, obviously, you want the barrier here and then the barrier boost here, same as the last Raiden build that I just uploaded. The Raiden build has crazy amounts of barrier compared to this because of the barrier on kill, which I think probably needs removing. It's that good. I don't think barrier needs removing completely because it does make mages a lot more viable, but I think the numbers need tuning. That's what needs to be done there. You can just get too high with the barrier. I don't think it's busted with this build though, the barrier. The problem with this build is the damage, more so. I think they should remove barrier from the weapons. That'd be a big bonus to just making it a bit more balanced. And maybe lower some of the values here, like the barrier gain. Getting it to 50% base, probably too much. Maybe it should be capped at 25%. Sorry, it's 40% is the max potential without exalting. Maybe that should be 20%. And then I can get this to maybe like, 40 to 45% max, but with the enchantment. Right now it's 100%, right? But if we can get it so it's maxed to like 40-50% with the enchantment power gem, I think that'd be a bit more balanced. With these two, just leave these two as they are, and then it wouldn't be too bad. But the way you can boost barrier is a problem right now, especially with barrier on kill. Not that I'm trying to nerf everybody's builds, but look, let's face it, if the game lets these builds into the game, it just becomes Diablo, doesn't it? And I am much more of a melee guy. That's why I make a lot of melee builds, because I like that combat and that having to learn the boss and fight. And I think most people that I speak to about this game say the same thing. They like that combat side of it, but mages will always be strong because they've got range, but right now they're just crazy strong. They are basically just unstoppable. So I've got a bit of healing here because I don't know what else to get, so just boost the lifesteal in this ring because I'm running low life. So same again, you need 24% max life here, and then I've got 15 which gets doubled, so that's 30%. So 30 plus 24 is 54, and you need to be 49% of your health to be low life, so I'm currently on 46% of my life, so I'm permanently low life, which activates all the gems on here for low life. So everything gets doubled on my enchantments. That's how that works. You need to be in low life for that to work. So my health bar will never go above. It'll always be around about here. It'll never go above here because it'll always be stuck at low life. You'll notice that in the video. Fire damage just to boost a bit because there's a spare slot. You know, it's a free 10% boost. I could have maybe put it somewhere else, but here I think the extra health is pretty nice based on focus because I get 24% of my focus as health, right? And I've got 500 focus, so that is what? 24% of that's about 120 health. Straight up free. Which means I don't have to put much into health really. I've only put 11 points in. I'm at 318. Obviously that gets cut in half though. Based on what I've just told you about max life. Being reduced. So you can kind of put something else in there if you wanted more damage. You could put fire damage in there, that's fine. But get a bit of armor pen, crit damage, and away you go. But I think it makes sense to put crit chance in here just to get it loads of crit chance in here. You could be happy with 78%, but I like permanent crits. I think that's very good. Just allows this to consistently function because you need to one hit on your first hit to just get this going. It doesn't matter if you do a 2 hit on your first hit, that's fine as well. But it's nice when you just one hit everything and then it activates all the bonuses and it's just, yeah, you're just deleting everything. So this is like the ultimate farm build. If you want to farm the Crucible to get every rune in the game, run this. But the focus ring is very nice. You might want to switch this out, but I think it's very nice to boost the gain and max focus. This ring's a no-brainer because you're always using rune attacks. You're never using basic attacks. So 30% damage, easy as you like. And then this ring I've already explained, but that's how it works. Yeah, this weapon's a key part of it. 2 really key stats there. I'm going to talk through this before I talk about what I think they should do about it, but yeah. Get to about 300 health. Stamina, 70 plus, because you don't need a lot. Damage, put as much as you can in there. And then focus. I think it's nice just to have a nice amount of focus on this, just in case for a boss fight. You know, you can't regenerate the focus on a boss fight as easily, so you want a large focus pot to just spam build abilities. And I run this in a heavy range because, as I said, what I've done is I've got movement on speed here, 34% movement on rune attack. So I just do 1 rune, 34% move speed, and I also have 24% move speed boost on these pants, so I'm super quick. So I'm actually pretty quick as it is here. I'm in the heavy range where I'm pretty quick, but when I get a kill, I'm zapping around, so you don't really need to be out of the heavy range, because you don't need to dodge roll. But that helps explain the build. What I want to talk about now is what do I think the devs could do about this without completely killing mages. And I don't think they will kill mages because they haven't really done much to nerf them. People are still one-shotting the Echo Knight with Armageddon, which I'm not running Armageddon or those big hitting runes because they're even more stupid. If I had Armageddon on this build, I would be doing stupid numbers. It'd be crazy, but I'm not running it because I don't need to. But I think straight up they just need to nerf mage runes across the board in terms of either the focus cost needs to be higher, especially on Fire Blast, that needs to be higher. It's way too good for what it does and how quick it is to cast. It needs to be 100. The big problem is the focus on Fatality is too high. To get that to 25 is just, in my opinion, crazy. I think 15 would be okay. but it's too high because I can double it. I can get it to almost 50. And yet, I also have this as well, which is just way too good as well. So the cost reduction. If they halved the values of these, it still would be very, very strong. But it would be enough to stop me going around one-hitting things constantly. And generating focus. If you can generate focus off focus abilities, there is a problem, isn't there? Let's face it. Like, I'm using a focus ability to generate more focus than I would from stamina. So I hope they address that, and I think everybody will be better off for it, because in an ideal world, you want to be using a stamina attack now and again, you know, doing a bit of movement to build up some focus, then using your big hit, right? But that just doesn't exist in the game right now, with this setup. But this is an ultra endgame version, right? I've basically got perfect stats in every role here now. And I've talked about that in the last two videos about why I think embers are just, especially the essence embers, the green ones, which I just got a couple here of this one. This one is just way too good. That's what's allowed me to do it. And, you know, I think if they limit to one per item, it would be okay. But yeah, I've used essence embers in every single slot here to put this together, and super strong. So if you want to have some crazy fun and delete everything, this is great. But I do hope that on full release we can be this powerful, because this is feels like you put cheat codes into the game, which is a nice feeling. But yeah, I do like the combat in this game, and this kind of skips the combat, right? So I do think they need to nerf it straight up. There's no two ways about it. If you disagree, then I think you should go play Diablo. That's my opinion.